Welcome back. Today topic is Google Firebase Cloud Functions Database Triggers. When event happens on database, this cloud function has to be invoked. So we will see that with the example. This is I am taking the book movie ticket app. So a small requirement in that. When I add movies to any of the languages, it has to add in all cinemas in all cities. So here, look at here, there is two movies are there, Hidden Figures and Line, and now I will add that one movie in English. It has to add in all cinemas. The new movie is and this is see, now it is added in all the cinemas. See here, we got the Power Rangers here. In Chennai we have got it, Power Rangers. In Hyderabad, in all malls we got it. See, Power Rangers. Look at here, Power Rangers. That is already added. So everywhere we got it. So this is the cloud function. I have written the cloud function for that event to happen. If any languages, if I add movie, that has to be added in all cinemas and all cities. So we'll go to the cloud function now. I'll explain how to code for it. This is exports. We have to code it in index.js file, and this is exports dot. This is the function name. In this case, add new movie, and this event is the on write event. When it has to be triggered in any child added under the parent movies. So this is wildcard, means in any of the languages a child is added, that this function will be triggered. So once it is triggered, event data, it will have the newly added child in event data, that is delta snapshot, and this wildcard parameters, whatever there, this is the movie language are given. If it is English, child is added in new movie in English, this form will have the English. So that will be on event.params and movie language. Since you have given a movie language as a variable here, it comes in that. So if it is English, it comes in English, and then we need to read that data snapshot, that is delta snapshot. I am reading it now. I am getting the key. In key we have the movie name, so I am getting the key here, and this is, and it is giving that movie language and plus and the movie name. So I have removed that movie language by replacing the movie language with the spaces. Now I got the key. This key we got the movie name, and this key movie has to be added to the in all multiplexes. So I am getting the reference of the cities, admin database reference of cities. So I am reading it that all the multiplexes here by database reference dot once. Once means it will call only once. The value listener will be added and then removed once it is called. So this is value. So once it gives the snapshot of that cities, all the childs under the cities. So now first under the cities we have city names for that, for each child snapshot, that is for each city I am calling this will be for each city, it will be called, and when each time it calls, for each it rotates, it executes for all the childs under the cities, and I am getting the key value is city name. And under the city I have to take all cinemas under the city. So for that I coded for each loop. I am taking all the childs with the child snapshot. That key will have a theater name, that cinema's name. So in that cinemas, under the cinemas, I need to add this movie under the language. So I am getting the reference, admin database reference, and cities. The path is city name, and we got the city name here. The first case is Bangalore, and theater name, that is cinema's name, and that name is we got here, that is Garuda Mall here in that case. And then language, it has to add it in which language. In cinemas we have 3 languages, so many languages. In that which language this movie has to be added. We got here event params, we got that just before, and movie language, and then movie name, we got it, movie name there. Here it is movie name. We read the delta snapshot. So this movie name, under this path I want to insert, that means I need to set this record. This record means this key value pairs, movie name and value is movie name. In this case we got the movie name from delta snapshot, and movie language from the parameters forms, and now running is no. Initially it will be the no. When the screens are added, they can set it to the S. Look at here. This is screens are added. When we can add the screens now, the screen 1 and show time, and then time, and like this we can add it now, and we can add the available tickets. So in all the theaters this movie is added. If we have that also fixed, and we can code it in the, we can give it in the cloud function. So if we have a theaters and all screens and ticket availables and available tickets and the timings and everything is fixed before that, when there is movie release, these all are fixed, that also we can give there, so that we don't need to add, that will be added automatically. So this is the database trigger cloud functions, and we will see that what are first in event data. I told you this is will have the delta snapshot. We have event data. In the event we have data. That data will gives the delta snapshot for the real-time database events. In this we have parameters like event ID, it will gives the unique identifier of that event, and event type, it gives the which type of event on the reference and write event, like that. Forms, that wildcard parameters, we got it through forms. And resource, on which resources is triggered, whether it is on the real-time database and storage, or when it is authentication is happened, or when that analytics, that is the transaction is happened on the device. So we need to have the log that about that device. And timestamp, these are all we have parameters here in this event data. So we can use it. And here we have used data, and the data gives the delta snapshot. That delta snapshot, we have all these functions. Look at here, we can get the reference of the child newly added by admin reference. We can have the current, as explained in previous session. We can have the current snapshot of the child. If it exists, we can get the previous snapshot of that. We can get the key value of that data snapshot. And we have the methods. We can check that child has changed or not, and we can get the child of that reference. And we add the parent. Under the parent, we can get the childs of that. And exist, it checks for if it is exist or not. That I have coded here. See here, if it exists means it calls when there is a remove the child, when you add the child, when you add the new movie, when delete the new movie, and when I change the movie. In any of the cases, this function will be triggered. So I don't want to do anything in right at this point of time when removing and change. So I'm just returning it. So checking that data, event data.exist. That is exist, and we can export the entire content of the delta snapshot as a JavaScript object. We can have this content snapshot of the database as a JavaScript object, and I have used this for each. In that delta snapshot, we have one child, so that I am reading it now through for each. If we have more childs in that, we have to read it now. So get priority, and it will give the has child or not, and it gives the has children, and we can have the number of children, and we can have that entire snapshot to JSON object, that is to JSON. And value, in this case the value is number of movie tickets available, and the key is the movie name. So these are all parameters available on the functions available on data snapshot. So the main things we have seen here: event data, we have seen what are the functions available in this event data. Functions are parameters, and in that event data we have delta snapshot for the database triggers. So we have seen that delta snapshot, what are the functions or parameters available. So based on this, what are the available functions, we need to code, we need to use the features of the Firebase in this cloud function. So here I am coded for my requirement. This is the way to code it. Now I am adding in Hindi, I will add movie, that is Sarkar 3, and I am adding it now. So when I add, just it updates everywhere, it comes Hindi. Look at here, Sarkar 3 is added. Look at here, everywhere it is added now. So this is the cloud function, how to write the cloud function for the database triggers. And that's it. I am just checking for the Telugu. This is added. See here. Once it is added, we can add the screens, or if you have predefined the screens and shows, then we can give it this. See this? Everywhere it is added. So this is what the cloud function database triggered. When event write on database happens, this cloud function will be triggered. So this is the end of the session. We will come up with the next topic in another session.